Hello and welcome to another edition of Commando Gaming. We're going to continue our series on Battletech um, Flashpoint career mode with the Hoffman's Dragoons here. I did play for about an hour off camera. There wasn't any significant items. We did collect a fair amount of sea bills through salvage, but I didn't collect any significant mechs. So you didn't really miss it. It was basically a farming mission on a relatively simple planet, just to get some experience from my pilots, collect some sea bills, and collect some mechs from salvage. Biggest things that happened off camera was I did have a battle where I picked up a hunchback, which is always a nice, fairly powerful medium mech to have available, and I picked up an additional Wolverine. So right now we have 2 Vindicators. I'm inclined to maybe get rid of those. Maybe get rid of 1. As soon as I have some mechs that are better than that. I've got a Panther kind of hanging out here. The only reason I'm keeping some of these lighter mechs around is because I know there are going to be missions where you need to just have light mechs as part of the flashpoints. So, for example, if I went to a flashpoint and they said, yeah, you can only have light mechs, then I could roll out a Panther and 3 fire starters, which would be kind of an interesting lance to send out. So that's the main reason I'm keeping these lights around. I'm tempted to get the 3rd mech bay here, but it cost me $2 million, 2 million sea bills to get a 3rd mech bay, and that's a big chunk of my available funds right now, especially since I'm really trying to max out the Argo early in this game, because I think one of the things that some people are going to overlook in this game, they're going to be so focused on building up their sea bills and collecting mechs and maybe upgrading their weapons. But I think one of the secrets to career mode is really maximizing the Argo. So let's take a look at what I've done with the Argo. I mean, we're only 130 days into this, so about four months. And let's take a look at what I've done, because I've really tried to maximize out the Argo. So I've upgraded the power systems, I've upgraded the structure. I want to upgrade the drive system soon. I've put in a training module. I've maxed out the repair and refit, and in fact this machine shop is currently being upgraded right now. So I'm going to max out the mech repair abilities. I've added some items that are going to give me some extra morale without spending money on them. I'll keep upgrading those, and I need at some point to upgrade the medical bay as well. So I'm really trying to maximize repairs on the Argo early, because it's going to maximize long term the number of missions I could do. For example, if I max out my repair for mechs, obviously that's key when significant mechs get taken out, or I have a shortage of mechs and I need to do some repairs before I can run missions. In addition, I want to upgrade the drive system as quickly as possible within reason, given how expensive it is. Because, for example, this upgrade for the drive system, the first upgrade, decreases your travel time by 20%. So in career mode, that's 20% more missions that you can do simply by upgrading your drive system. So I'm really trying to maximize that. So this is going to be a relatively short stream, probably just maybe an hour or so. But the reason I wanted to get it on camera is I'm in the process of going to my first Flashpoint mission, and I wanted to make sure that we caught that on camera. So it's going to be a short stream, and then we'll probably do longer streams throughout the next couple days as we run into the weekend. We can put in some significant gaming time. But I wanted to do a quick mission, quick recording of me doing this Flashpoint mission where I'm supposed to get some exotic items. I'm wondering if maybe that's just some plus weaponry. It'll be interesting to see what that entails. So there's just a quick overview. I guess I could take a look at my mech warriors here. As you can see, all of our guys are consistently moving up. And we're getting a lot less injuries, as makes sense, as I'm increasing the guts on these players. I had to focus on the gunnery first because it was so bad, and now I'm trying to get the guts up as well. And this puts me in a dilemma because as I had a ton of mech warriors that I hired because I was going through injuries so often. You know, early on, it was like every mission, it felt like somebody was getting hurt. So now I've kind of built up a pretty good stable of mech warriors here. I mean, they're all veteran. Some of them are close to becoming elite. They should be elite pretty soon in a couple of missions. For example, Night Terror here is a master. Paradox is a master. So I mean, these guys are all leveling up. So the question is, should I at some point cut my salary? You know, get rid of a couple of these guys. But you know, their salary is relatively low because I train them up.
Yes, Commander.
I think Paradox gets paid the most.
Got something you want done?
Waiting for orders.
But really, these are pretty reasonable salaries. As long as I keep my C-bills under control, then it kind of makes sense for me to just keep a nice big stable of mech warriors available so I can just keep doing missions over and over and over again. So that's just kind of an overview on what happened while I was off camera. But again, we're traveling to a Flashpoint on Adar. I'm assuming there'll be some other missions at Adar as well. So we'll check those out as well. But I wanted to get on camera for this Flashpoint because I'm excited about it. We're going to see how that goes. Just give me 1 second to be off camera. This is going to go ahead and run anyways, so you guys aren't missing anything. Yeah, I've got to say, in general, they did such a good job with the cinematics in this game. You don't get overly tired of seeing the cinematics. For example, I've never been to that planet before, so that was kind of a new cinematic that I've never seen. So it's always interesting. If you're going, like if you go to a planet you've been to like 100 times, you're like, oh yeah, we're going to Detroit. I've seen it 100 times. But if you're going to a planet you've never been before, it's always kind of fun to see what you have going on here. All right, so here we go. So we've got this Flashpoint mission. Engagement length is short. There could be consecutive deployments. The reward is uncommon items. And tonnage requirement, no restriction. So this is very important when you're looking at Flashpoints. So for example, I looked at one earlier and it was a 3-star mission, but it said you could only take light mechs with you. And I said, you know what? I really need to maximize my light mechs before I felt comfortable doing a 3-star mission with only mechs, only light mechs. This one has no restrictions, so I can take my heavy mechs with me. So we'll see what happens here. So we're working for House Steiner against House Liao, and let's give this Flashpoint a try. All right, joint venture. So we've got a little cinematics here. So this is very much like the campaign missions, as we expected. All right, welcome to Adar. Thank you for your promptness as always. House Steiner needs you to escort an unarmed convoy to a reinforced mech bay on the western tip of the Black Earth Plateau. Safety of this convoy is paramount importance. Its cargo is both precious and rare. Wow, yeah. What's the payload? In truth, it's none of your concern, but in interest of transparency, I will answer your question. I hope you will recognize this gesture as a symbol of friendship. The trucks are carrying final components of a new form of battle mech, the first product marriage between Davion inventiveness and Steiner industry. It's quite an achievement, I assure you, and House Liao would like nothing better than to take it from us. Okay. Very good, Commander. So I'm assuming whatever they transport, we're going to get some of it as part of our payment. All right, complications standing in your way. The convoy is currently hidden, will remain so until you meet them at the rendezvous point. Fortunately, there's but a single road between the convoy and its destination, and the road is continuously patrolled by reserve units. We have solid intel on the size and composition of one of these patrol groups, a unit that we have dubbed Sentry Team Alpha. Unfortunately, that's where our battle intelligence ends. Tell us about Sentry Team Alpha. If we choose to engage while they're in the AO, what will we be going up against? Mid-range Hunter-Killer Lance with long-range fire support available as backup. Not an ideal configuration to go up against on an escort mission, but we have no intel at all on what else the reserves may be fielding. You may choose to deploy outside of Sentry Team Alpha's patrol window. You could find yourself face to face with a full assault lance. Or perhaps not, we just don't know. Okay. Alright, and so my friend, you have a choice to make. Will you deploy against Sentry Team Alpha, or will you roll the dice with the unknown? I don't envy you in this decision, but the commander in the field, it's yours to make. So this is interesting. So Sentry Team Alpha is like a long-range missile-armed unit, which is going to be a real pain in the butt because they don't have to necessarily close with the convoy to do a lot of damage. On the other hand, we might get stronger opposition as far as their mechs if we take the other alternative. But then again, the other alternative might give us better salvage. So I'm actually inclined to take the after Sentry Team Alpha has left the field. I think I'm going to do that. It's kind of I think we're going to get better salvage this way. We might get more of a fight. But, you know, I'm going to roll the dice here and see what it's like. So one thing we can always do is we can, max pay, good payout, is we can always hit load prior mission on this thing. I'm going to max out salvage here. We've got a lot of money. And I think there could be some potential for some good mechs here. So I'm going to take my Orion, my Kintaro. Wolverine or the Shadowhawk. I feel like I have to take firepower here. I really would like to take a fire starter because they're so darn useful against serious mechs, but I think I'm going to go firepower here. Firepower and armor. So I've got lots of armor on the Orion, Kintaro, and Wolverine, and they all have pretty good firepower except for the Wolverine, which is a little light. He's my melee guy. And the Shadowhawk is a good long-range support. So I think we're going to go with that and see what happens. So again, this could be a relatively short video. I think there's might be multiple drops on this. We'll see. And I'll try to play out the flashpoint here within the time allowed. So we'll just go ahead and let that prep for combat. Wow, that was a really quick prep for combat time. Maybe because this is kind of a structured mission, they don't have to do so many random number generators in the background. So, let's see what we got here.
Interface initiated.
Alright, so we're in a jungle habitat. Played this map before. Looks like there might be an enemy mech there. So I've played this map before, and generally what happens is you end up going up this field, up here to this landing bay here for the leopard. So let's see, we'll see if it plays out that way, but as always, we're just going to sprint up here to the start of the convoy. Now I've got some fairly heavy mechs here, so they're going to have to really sprint a lot to stay up with the convoy. But the firepower is usually worth it, so
don't need to tell me twice.
we're going to kind of sprint up here. We've got an enemy. As expected, that was an enemy. I think it was a good size one.
Yes, Commander. Move order
Get vision on it. Not yet, so we'll brace. Ah, hunchback, huh? Okay, so we got a hunchback. Looks like we got another enemy unit here. Alright, so
Waiting for orders.
I'm not too upset about what we got going on here so far. I can certainly handle. I'd rather face a couple heavy mechs in a stand-up fight
This should be
than
good.
try to defend a convoy while fighting against a whole bunch of missile spammers, especially if there's LRM carriers involved, which I hate. I'd rather take a stand-up fight.
Standing by.
It's just my preference. Let's see if we can take out this hunchback before anybody else shows up. That would be a good way to start this battle. So, just use a bunch of alpha strikes on this guy. Try to wear him down as much as we can, because eventually we are going to see some other mechs come in and help him. We got one here, 45 tonner, and an 80 tonner. Oh, salvage, 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 salvage. So what we need, I really need to take this hunchback out as quickly as possible before we engage that 80 ton mech. That was part of my logic in taking, AC-20 critical, that's good. Taking this mission because I felt that we could get some better salvage here versus a bunch of LRM boats, which really aren't necessarily the best salvage. So this hunchback is actually, I could move up and give him a punch and knock him down, but I'm worried about that 80 ton mech coming out and getting this Wolverine from behind. So let's just do an alpha strike, see if we can knock him down that way. AC-20 destroyed.
That one's gonna leave a mark.
Not quite enough to knock him, but we should be able to knock him right here. do a targeted strike here to try to maximize the salvage. But I want to save my precision strikes for that assault mech.
Tell me what to shoot.
Assuming that's an assault mech at 80 tons. So I got injured there. Didn't knock him down yet. Hunchback was so hard to knock down. Alright, so the 45 tonner is moving up. I'd like to take both of these out before I take on that 80 tonner.
Good to go.
So let's just keep being aggressive here. Not the best spacing, not the best positioning. That's not really going to do us any good. Probably why this guy's making a run for it, because he wants us to fight. He wants someone to fight with, because he's really outmatched by my lance.
Target's taking a critical
him up
hit.
as much as possible. He's not really that powerful now that he lost his... Ooh, an awesome! Oh boy, here we go. Alright, this just got real.
My understanding, Commander.
Number one, I'd love to get some salvage on an awesome, but those things are dangerous. So we got the awesome coming in here.
Copy that.
Again, I still think our best bet is to try to get this hunchback off the field. Again, I'm going to save my precision strikes against the awesome.
Go time.
Nice.
That's the kill.
Alright, the hunchback is out. Alright, we got a Vindicator moving in. So what do we know? We know the Awesome's got a PPC, heavy PPC suite. So what I can do is I can kind of match up. Kind of what I want to do here is I want to match up a mech that can go toe-to-toe with the Vindicator.
I hear ya.
Maybe, I think the Wolverine. I think what I want to do is... Actually, we don't have... I don't want to go out of cover, though. So... Let's get a little bit of
I'm reading,
evasion.
Commander. Moving out.
Maybe we try to make life
Time to die.
difficult for this Vindicator. I really don't want to go out of cover against this awesome. It's very hard to fight him. So one thing I can do, I think I can use the Shadow Hawk. One thing I can do at this point is I can do a precision strike with the Vindicator. Try to weaken that CT.
You have orders?
If I could take this Vindicator out
Have no doubt, it will be done.
early. Little damage to the CT, not as much as I would like. Alright, took out the PPC for the Vindicator. That's pretty good.
Reporting. Critical hit.
I can't really complain about that. The Awesome's going to come around. He's going to punish me from long range with those PPCs for a while. Kind of why I didn't want to move out of cover.
Position confirmed.
I think we're going to keep working on this Vindicator. Might be a little too aggressive, but I really want to see if we can take this Vindicator off this map as quickly as possible. Close to popping in.
Scored a critical hit.
Waiting on you, Commander. On my way.
We can get the Vindicator maybe off the map here.
Uh-huh.
See? Yeah. Alright. So now it's 4 on
Well,
1.
you had the chance.
And the Awesome's going to have to move up to engage
Receiving you.
us. We could start working on this shadow, on this Awesome. Oh, this is going to be some good salvage. Hopefully he's not going to cause too much damage to our lance here.
Awaiting orders.
But we do have a lot of firepower that we can throw at this Awesome right now.
Unloading a full salvo.
Structure exposed. See, the good thing here is we're fighting from cover, which is really helping us here.
Standing by.
They're really going after Paradox here. Move him where I would like to, so I'm gonna have to keep him in cover. I guess I can move him out of cover, but it puts me in better. And I think what I need to do is use Vigilance here on the Wolverine. Because he seems to really want to go after this Wolverine. You can move the Kentaro up to do a little tanking, hopefully.
What's up, boss?
I almost want to bait him to go after people other than the Wolverine right now. And I really want to get some really good shots in on the Awesome, plus I can kind of get his side here.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Ooh, I got his leg. That's really nice.
Reporting. Of course.
We're going to move up the Orion here as well. Move up the large lasers to keep out of heat, but I've still got a lot of firepower to hit him with here.
That's a critical hit.
Really hoping he wouldn't go after the Wolverine there. I'm really glad I used Vigilance there. And I'm gonna move back the Wolverine.
Affirmative.
He could do a full salvo because he just did Vigilance. Alright, and took out 2 PPCs. Very nice.
Waiting on you, Commander. Got it.
I want to kind of pepper him right now because I'd really like to get a targeted shot on his legs to kind of
Here we go.
maximize his salvage. Alright, he's a pogo stick.
Yeah, critical hit.
Pretty nice.
Yes, Commander.
A little more aggressive now at this point, so I'm going to try to get some shots into his rear.
Firing all weapons. I think I hit something good. Yes, Commander.
The Orion cover here. And again, just try to pepper him, hopefully without taking him out. Alright, so he's gone into guarded.
Good to go.
I'm gonna keep moving the Wolverine back here and let him brace. Because this, just as soon as I take care of this awesome,
Good to go.
we are not done with this mission by any stretch of the imagination. Probably going to face at least another lance. I do a precision strike here on the leg.
When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
He's in the spore field, so that helps.
Ready for orders.
Get a shot into him from
Heading up.
behind. Unfortunately, I don't have a targeted strike. God, this thing is like,
Awaiting orders.
there's like nothing left on this thing,
there
and
in a
it's
jet.
still standing. Pretty impressive. Kind of
Firing.
there. Would have liked to have maybe legged him, but at least we'll get one piece of an awesome. And aside from our
Consider it done.
Wolverine, we're in pretty good shape.
Coordinates received.
So
Order
let's
received.
get into the best position to start this escort mission. So they're not equipped for the fight. Now we're gonna have to sprint like hell.
I understand.
One of the negatives of taking these heavy mechs, although you know the Wolverine is pretty fast, but the Shadowhawk isn't that bad. The Wolverine was originally going to be my scout, but he's gotten pretty blasted, so I can't have him rush too far ahead of the rest of the pack here. This is going to be the challenge, keeping up with this.
Yes, Commander.
At some point, we're going to find something here we have to fight.
Roger that. Move order received.
Probably, I'm actually surprised we haven't hit any opponents yet. It'd be interesting if that was the only lance that we had to fight here.
Certainly.
You betcha.
It wouldn't be horrible.
Got something you want done?
Salvage,
Locking in coordinates.
because we do get a piece of an awesome and a couple pieces of a hunchback and probably a vindicator. But I'm kind of hoping we're going to have some more enemies show up here. We'll see what happens. I mean, this definitely has a campaign feel for it, mission-wise. But it's not, they're not insurmountable missions at this point. I know there are going to be some that are going to be much harder than this one. But this is probably a pretty good Flashpoint mission for me to get comfortable. Here we go.
You're in position, Commander. Hold
All right.
your ground until the
Here we
package
go.
is
Oh,
on its way.
alright, so we got vehicles. So, my concern here is those are going to be missile carriers. And I don't really have the best setup for missile to fight missile carriers, so we're going to have to kind of rush over there.
Waiting for orders.
Kind of sprint for two reasons. Number one, see if we can become the primary. Oh, I see at least an LRM carrier. Yep, LRM carrier. Probably some striker. Probably striker. There could be two missile carriers here, which is bad news. But really, all we can do this first round is kind of sprint up.
Waiting for orders.
And take our lumps because we need to get within range of those carriers. We're probably going to get hit pretty hard here. Oh.
You have orders?
Right, at least the Orion can get in a shot. He's definitely going to go after the LRM carrier.
Target confirmed.
Rain is going to come in. Maybe the fact that we hit the LRM carrier will get the LRM carrier to go after us and not. Here comes the rain. After Wolverine, not too bad.
Objective secured.
Alright, so now that we've gotten the objective out of here, what I'm probably going to do is pull back the Wolverine to cover. He's not really the best setup to go after
Yes, Commander.
these LRM carriers anyways, and we might as well try to minimize his damage. So that still gives me 3 mechs to kind of rush in and hopefully do some damage on these carriers. So we got a Bulldog, Striker. It looks like the LRM carrier is in hiding. So probably, good thing is we could do an Alpha Strike here because they haven't used their weapons in a while. So these Bulldogs can be pretty tough. Not too bad. It was ramshackle, luckily.
Smoked them.
So that takes one off the field.
Orders.
Move the Shadowhawk up here. Striker and a Striker. Might as well just take out hopefully the closest Striker. Strikers are so over armored.
I've been sensor locked.
In Battletech
How might I help?
lore, Strikers are kind of
Yes,
throwaway
Commander.
units, but in this game they really overpowered the Strikers with armor, in my opinion. And I can see why they did it for gameplay, just to make them a little more of a legitimate threat, because they don't pack that much. Here comes the rain, LRM carrier. No structural damage. That's what I'm looking for there. We didn't get any structural damage. That's a good win for us.
Commander.
At this point, I'm going to take a chance. We'll put the Wolverine out here because I want to get rid of this LRM carrier.
Roger that.
Every little bit of damage. Yes, okay, that was a good gamble, taking the LRM out.
Enemy vehicle eliminated.
Because now everybody else can just take out this last Striker here,
On my way.
and we'll be done with this mission. Last Striker. Yes. Okay.
Move her down.
Right. That's it. Our payload has been secured. Better hold that thought. This isn't over yet. Long-range sensors are picking up an inbound jump ship. ETA 45 minutes. I'm authorized. My Battletech mechs to rush the activation of our new battle mech, the Hatchet Man. It will stand in place of one of your own mechs for the upcoming fray. Alright, so I can play Hatchet Man. Nice. Alright, so I can
Mission successful.
I can switch out the Wolverine with a... Maybe they'll let me keep the Hatchet Man. That would be nice. So if I can switch out the Wolverine for the Hatchet Man and nobody else had any damage, got a nice little bump in pay. Yeah, we'll switch out the Wolverine for sure. Everybody else is in good shape. Alright, so we got some pretty good salvage here. LRM-20. Wow. Tough calls here. I have to take the awesome salvage. So do I want these LRM-20s? I think I want the LRM-20s more than I want the mech salvage. And maybe we'll get some of that instead. Okay. Oh, we got lots of LRM-20s. That's pretty good salvage. I can live with that. So as you can see, now we're going to the second deployment of this kind of mini campaign. So it's kind of cool. So we'll see what happens here with this new dropship coming in. I get to try out the Hatchet Man, which is cool. And we'll have a full lance available to go up against what they're sending our way. So, oh, they're putting in... Okay, so... Matchstick. Okay, so they're taking out one of our pilots and giving us the Hatchet Man. So we can take the Orion, put him in. Definitely taking my commander to pilot the Orion. What do I want to do? I'm going to take out the Shadowhawk now that we're in more of a straight up battle and put in the Wolverine because he's more of a brawler. And go with the Wolverine, Orion, the Kentaro, and we're going to have the Hatchet Man. Well, Hatchet Man's not that impressive. Better than going in with a damaged Wolverine, there's no question about it. But I'm not so excited about the Hatchet Man. Doesn't look... I mean, obviously the Hatchet Man should have a pretty good melee. Alright, so we have to defend the fortified mech bay. House Liao's occupation force is moving on our mech bay in force. I know that you've had no time to refit or repair, but I'm going to need your assistance all the same. In light of this, I've authorized deployment of a Steiner asset, a very rare and precious battle mech that you just delivered to this site to assist you with one of my own mech warriors to pilot it.
Command interface initiated.
Commander, I'm afraid that Mossad sensor readings have been confirmed. A large contingent of Liao reserves are en route to the mech bay at this moment. They are eager to strike. I suggest you strike back at them with this. Meet the Hatchet Man, House Steiner's melee specialized brawler. You find him perfectly equipped to hack these peasants in 2. Hell of a machine. Alright, so we got this mech bay. Doesn't look like we're going to have turrets to help us. And they were coming from that direction, right? So this becomes like a very much a defend the base type mission. So is this the Hatchet Man? This is the Hatchet Man. So the Hatchet Man, I need to try to get him in close, obviously. Let's see. Hatchet Man has a melee of 17. Not all that excited about it. I guess he can do 140 deaths from above, which is not bad.
Waiting for orders.
So I think we need to kind of sprint for some cover here.
Coordinates received.
My biggest concern. So I've got the Wolverine that's good for melee, and I've got the Hatchet Man that's good for melee. Locust, really? Alright, so we got a Locust coming in. Not too worried about that. Sending in a bunch of lights. I mean, what can I do? I gotta get out there to engage these turkeys. So let's get everybody into cover here. Luckily, we're up against some light opposition to start out.
Roger that.
It's got an AC-10. I mean, the Hatchet Man does have a fair amount of firepower. It's kind of interesting that he's a brawler that has relatively light armor.
I hear ya.
We need to get some fire on
my
as
way.
many of these guys as possible so they can start. Okay, so we got a Kentaro. Okay, so we got a Kentaro. So Kentaro against Kentaro. We gotta get this Kentaro off the map as quickly as possible.
Standing by.
Here. Fire at the Locust just because that's all. Alright.
That's a kill.
That's a kill off the field. That's nice. Use the Orion on the Kentaro here.
Engaging target.
Some good hits on the center torso. You can't just ignore.
A friendly structure has been destroyed.
That's going to take a little bit out of our pay. So what we can do,
How's it going?
we can use the Hatchet Man for what it's for.
Heading out. Confirmed. Hit him hard.
Right. Got that Locust, which wants me. Of course, it was a Locust. Right, so they're going to start attacking us and not the buildings. Which is good right now. It's really outnumbered, this Kentaro. Spreading his damage around, which is
Waiting on you, Commander.
always good for me.
Uh-huh.
We got a Blackjack, pretty heavily armored Blackjack in the Kentaro. We're gonna keep working on the Kentaro. That Blackjack, you could do some damage to those
Special
buildings.
delivery.
But the Kentaro Kintaro is probably the biggest threat right now.
Orders. Confirmed.
Engaging target.
That's fair. Firepower off the
Enemy back.
Kintaro.
Critical damage
Got
detected.
some structural damage.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts inbound.
More. So where are these other guys coming from? That's what I need to know. Are they coming from the same direction? Doesn't say. Alright, so I guess we're just going to have to focus on what
Waiting
I
for
do
orders.
know.
Confirmed. Here comes the show.
There's the pain. Blackjacks are very dangerous.
What can I do for you?
So I have to leave cover to finish off the Kintaro. So I'm going to switch to Blackjack here. Oh, I'm going to overheat. Screwed that one up. Really
Try
screwed that
tagging
up.
here.
Bad mistake.
Commander.
Nothing worse. Alright, so my Hatchet Man, no, Wolverine, can go in and start meleeing on this
Acknowledged.
Kintaro.
Targeting for physical attack.
Gonna keep him busy. And everybody else can kind of focus on the Blackjack here. I can finally put an Alpha Strike on something. So I'm actually going to put an Alpha Strike on the TC of this Blackjack. Not too excited about salvage on a Blackjack, so I'd like to get this guy off the field because I got more enemies coming in. Not quite enough, but
Enemy back. Critical damage detected.
going down, that's good. Hopefully we can knock him out.
Neck warrior.
Round.
Show 'em what you got. Hey there.
Get this Hatchet Man in.
On the move.
Where I'd like him to go.
Confirmed.
Oh,
I'm wounded.
jeez.
Good to go.
Hatchet Man is like paper. Oof. Not good. I'm not so excited about
Yes, Commander.
what just happened to the Hatchet Man. But, you know, turnaround is fair play, right?
I think I hit something good.
Got knocked down on the Kintaro. Hatchet Man got wrecked. Let's see if we can use some multi-target here. Kintaro's gone. That's good salvage.
Enemy mech destroyed.
This Blackjack's gonna do. Going after the hatchet man.
Losing armor.
Alright, I just want to see
Commander.
this. No, the hatchet man can't even get range.
Waiting for orders.
Be cool to see the hatchet man finish this guy off. So we're gonna move up our Kintaro.
Got it. Dead. You're dead.
Alright, that's good. Alright, so where's the enemy? I thought there was some more enemy coming.
On
So, oh, here we go. Figures. So they're running up the back of the hill. I was afraid of that. So
I hear ya.
you need to sprint
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
to get into range to fight these guys.
Waiting for orders. Confirm.
Hatchet man is not looking so good. I figure there's going to be some sort of penalty for the hatchet man getting
Copy
knocked
that.
out, probably. Or damaged, but really don't have a choice. Didn't really have a choice in the matter.
Full throttle.
Good to go.
Alright, let's get vision, see what we're up against
No
here.
problem. On my way.
Centurion, Shadowhawk, Blackjack, and looks like some sort of vehicle. So
All weapons are go.
don't make it easy on us with this last lance, are they?
Good to go.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Like this. Taro's going to be a target here.
Good to go.
Wonder if we can selfishly use the hatchet man as a target. Because it's not our mech, right? So I am a businessman. I think I want to sprint the Orion up.
Full throttle.
We're going to take some damage here, but I need to get between the enemy and these buildings. Alright, go ahead. Attack the hatchet man as much as you want. It's not my
Got something you
vehicle.
want done? Roger that. Locked on for physical attack.
What can I do for you?
To get some fire on this
Moving
Shadowhawk.
out.
Precision strike available. I think I'm going to work on the CT.
This should be good.
Really do some damage there, hopefully.
Yeah, critical hit.
Nice. hatchet man up. Still haven't been able to use that darn hatchet for anything, but might as well gunshot this Shadowhawk here.
Taking the shot.
What vehicle is that? Bulldog. Could be worse. Finish off this Shadowhawk here. Go after that rear CT. Yeah, not enough yet.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Oh, got a knockdown. Take it.
Mission successful.
Alright. I'm not sure what happened there because I had 3 opponents left and they said that's the last of them. Alright. Hey, that's fine. I would have liked to gotten salvage on the Centurion, but hey. Ooh, nice little payout there. Nice payout. Can't complain. Do I get to keep the Hatchet Man? Maybe I get to keep the Hatchet Man. Maybe. Maybe I would have done that differently if I'd known. But I do get a Kentaro. That's worth it. Any special weapons here? Ooh. I'm going to take the medium laser plus plus plus. I know some people are going to say that's crazy, but it's hard to get plus plus weapons at this stage in the game. So even a medium laser is probably worth more to me than a piece of blackjack, and I still might get it anyways. I did. I got it anyways. So is that the end of this flashpoint? Not bad salvage if I got a Kentaro out of it. I still haven't heard what the piece of equipment is, unless they're considering the Hatchet Man a piece of equipment. It wouldn't be a hatchet. Alright, so I got the Kentaro. Right, gotta make room for the Kentaro, so. Alright, I'm gonna put one of our fire starters in this. Alright, let's see what the prize is. Well done indeed. The Hatchman proves to be Admiral Well. Looking for telemetry. Luminaries, the news will be pleased. Help a machine. In due time, perhaps you may. I can make no promises, but I would very much enjoy it if such a mech were to find its way onto the Argo. Stranger things have happened. Aye, Commander. Till then, bid you good hunting and fond farewell. Your job here is done. Right, what's the uncommon item? Oh, so it's like a surprise. So it's like a prize pack. You open it up. So we got a plus plus laser. Not bad.
Roger that.
Seven 2 plus plus. A gyro. Not bad. Armad. Nice. LRM 10. Very nice. EC5 plus. There's some plus weapons here. I got a part of a Jenner, and I have 2 of 3, so I can sell that. Part of a Panther, I've got 2 of 3, so I can sell that. Not a bad payout, I gotta say. I've gotta say, it's a pretty good
That mech is ready to fight, Commander.
deal.
That mech you asked for is cleared for fighting.
I just got a whole bunch of cash, which means I can now get that 3rd mech bay, I think. Alright, so I can put this Panther to storage, put the Jenner to storage. I picked up a Kentaro. That was a pretty impactful mission for me. Once this upgrade on the improved automation goes in, I can get the 3rd mech bay going. And now that I'm on this planet, are there a whole bunch of contracts to take? There are. Alright. So overall, that was a pretty good mission. So let's look at the mech bay. So I got a Wolverine hurt that needs repairs. Take a day, no big deal. Now the Kentaro. Now I got a replacement Kentaro, so having this one, let's refit, because I like the Kentaro. I've got all these new toys that just came in, right? So do I take this medium laser that's plus 5 damage, put it on the Kentaro? I think I'll do that. Alright. So I have a new SRM-6 that's plus. Let's give that to the Kentaro. Where it gets tricky. So what I can do is I can take out the SRM-6 here and put in the SRM-2. Just to up the firepower a little bit on this bad boy. Okay. And then I can put the, take a SRM-4 and put it in there. I can't. Oh, I can put it up over here. Alright, and that ups the firepower on the Kentaro here. I'm worried about the heat on this sucker. If we take a little more armor off the leg. Off this arm. Off that arm. Just to give it another heat sink. That's a good idea. Put it in the head. Just max out the armor. So my firepower just went up a good amount on this Kentaro. So it takes 6 days.
Right.
So basically the next planet I go to, I'll have the upgraded Kentaro ready. That's pretty good. Alright, so that was our first Flashpoint mission. I just wanted to go through that real quick. Let's go ahead and upgrade our mech warriors here. Got a nice little bit of XP from that mission.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Ready.
This is an all-ship announcement. It's time for another team-building movie night.
Training
Tonight's
complete.
selection is a big hit.
Standing by.
STG's The Attack of the Polymer Coated
Mech Warrior training complete.
Good to go.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Commander?
Upgrade.
Awaiting orders.
Training complete.
I'm here.
Yes, Commander. I'm receiving you.
Mech Warrior training complete.
Our last port of call
Orders.
is mysterious bacterial contagion.
Waiting for orders.
All hands to the med bay.
Alright, so that puts us in all ready to go. So what we're going to do here is save our game after our flashpoint. And I'm excited that I found the flashpoint to be a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Well, let's check out the hiring hall. I always want to see Gladiator. That would be a nice mech to add.
Commander?
Look at that. It's not really that much better than what I have now. I always like to just look at the Mech Warriors. Let's take a quick look at the store. We got a plus 10% price increase, so there's nothing here that I need. I can sell some stuff though. So I'm going to keep that fire starter in reserve, just in case. I like those fire starters. We can sell the Jenner and the Panther. And suddenly we have a lot of money. So that's not so bad. So what we're going to do here is we're going to end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the first Flashpoint experience. I was hesitant to do one of those until I felt like I had a very solid lance that I could handle one. So I'll probably be doing more flashpoints in the future. The trick for the flashpoints is you have to think ahead about how you're going to get there. So for that flashpoint, I actually stopped at 2 planets on the way to the flashpoint to take advantage of that travel. Because if you travel to the flashpoint without taking on missions, you're losing a lot of potential salvage and money and experience for your troops. So try to think about that when you're trying to figure out what to do with these flashpoints. I know it's exciting. You're like, oh, there's a flashpoint. I could just go over there right now. And yeah, it'll take 30 days to get there, but I'll do the flashpoint. In the meantime, why not take a stop at a planet that's halfway there and then go to the flashpoint? Because remember, if you stop at that planet, it only costs you a day of game time, but you can do 5 or 6 missions and then go to the flashpoint. So you take advantage of your travel time as much as possible. On that note, we're going to end this video, but we'll see you soon for another edition of Commando Gaming. Talk to you soon.